The Tunjo gold, sacred figures of protection in Colombia. Colombia is famous for its coffee, but also for its illegal drug trade. In this dangerous business, all sides need someone to protect them. That's where the tumbos come in, sacred figures made out of gold that are said to possess magical powers. But what is their origin? How does their creation work? And why do they look so similar to gremlins? Let's find out. If you like stories like this one, we also have many more stories from various cultures around the world. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to hear more. Gold has been an important material for jewelry since 4000 BC, when gold items were found in Spain and France. However, its use as a decorative or ritual object goes even further back to 3500 BC in Bulgaria. Gold was highly valued by the ancient civilizations due to its beauty, malleability, resistance to corrosion, and rarity. For the Muisca people, it had a sacred value. It was believed that gold held the life force or soul of the sun god, which made it extremely valuable. The term Tunjo means totem in the Muisca language. These pieces are not just ornaments, but powerful talismans that serve as intermediaries between the human and the spiritual world. They represent different aspects of nature and hold significant power over the elements. These golden figures are often depicted with animal heads, such as frogs, snakes, monkeys, jaguars, and birds. This reflects the animistic beliefs of the Muisca people, who saw animals as possessing spirits and believed they could communicate with the spiritual realm through them. Each animal has its own unique meaning and symbolism, which is why the choice of animal head is carefully considered in the creation of the tumbos. There are two main types of tumbos, zoomorphic and anthropomorphic. Zoomorphic tumbos have the head of an animal and embody the characteristics associated with that animal, such as strength, cunning, or wisdom. Anthropomorphic tumbos have the head of a human and symbolize important aspects of the culture or the natural world. Both types are believed to have protective powers and are used for various purposes, such as ensuring fertility, protecting against evil spirits, or bringing good luck. Although the exact origin of the tumbadoras is unknown, it is believed that they emerged during the pre-Hispanic era in the Muisca territory, which is now part of central and eastern Colombia. Evidence of their creation dates back to 1200 AD, based on archaeological findings. However, oral traditions suggest that they may have been created much earlier. According to legend, the tumbos were first created by a skilled craftsman named Huma Tunbo. He was a humble goldsmith who lived in a small village in the mountains. One day, while working in his shop, he accidentally dropped a piece of gold and it landed on an anvil in the shape of a frog. Intrigued by this unusual occurrence, he decided to craft the frog into a pendant and wore it around his neck. Soon after, he began to experience strange things happening around him, such as flowers blooming out of season and animals behaving unusually. He realized that the pendant he had crafted possessed magical powers and decided to keep it with him at all times. Word spread about his good fortune, and other villagers started asking him to make them similar pendants. Over time, these pendants became known as tumbadoras, and the legend of their creation became part of the oral traditions of the region. It is believed that each tumba has a unique spirit or entity residing within it, which imbues it with its protective and magical powers. The process of creating a new tumba is a sacred ritual that must be performed with great care and precision. First, a skilled craftsman must be chosen, one who understands the symbolism and traditions surrounding the tombs. The gold for the figure must be mined and purified in a special way to ensure its purity. Once the gold is ready, the craftsman begins the arduous task of shaping it into the desired form. Every detail is important, and the craftsman must pay attention to the proportions, the shape of the head, and the details of the facial features. Sometimes the process can take months to complete. Once the gold figure is finished, it is decorated with precious stones and other ornaments. The choice of stones and ornaments is also very meaningful and can enhance the power of the figure. Finally, the completed figure is blessed in a special ceremony to activate its powers and to connect it with its spirit. This ceremony may include prayers, dances, and offerings to the gods. Tumbos are not just religious figures. They are also an integral part of daily life in some communities. People carry them with them for protection, place them in their homes for good luck, or hang them in their workplaces for prosperity. They are also used in traditional healing ceremonies to drive out evil spirits and restore balance. Tumbos are also played an important role in the social and political life of the mestizo people. They were displayed as symbols of wealth and power by the elites and were also used as diplomatic gifts between different tribes. During the colonial period, the Spanish conquerors tried to suppress the indigenous religions and the use of idols was banned. However, the tumbos managed to survive despite the persecution and continued to be used secretly in the communities. Today, the tradition of making tumbos continues in some Colombian communities. Some artisans specialize in creating these figures and pass down their skills from generation to generation. They use traditional techniques and respect the cultural significance of each detail to create authentic and powerful tumbos. But why do they look like gremlins? Gremlins are creatures from folklore that are known for causing mischief and wreaking havoc, often in unexpected and sometimes dangerous ways. The word gremlin itself comes from an old word meaning goblin, which refers to a type of mischievous spirit in folklore. Now, let's compare this to the description of tumbos, particularly those depicted with animal heads. Keep in mind that we are relying on descriptions from secondhand sources, including a book called The Golden Museum of Primitive Art published in 1913. Unfortunately, this source doesn't provide much information about the appearance of the gremlin-like tunjos. What we can gather is that they were referred to as ugly little demons. It is possible that these tunjos were made to resemble gremlins as a way to represent the idea of protective spirits. After all, gremlins in folklore are known for bringing good luck to those who have them as companions. The concept of a gremlin as a mascot is not uncommon. There is even a well-known brand of motorcycles that uses a gremlin as its logo, symbolizing good luck and happiness. So it is possible that the makers of the tumbos intentionally chose to depict them in a way that would appeal to the superstitious beliefs of the time. Interestingly, there are other cultures that have created similar figures to the tumbos. For example, the Aztecs in Mexico created idols with animal heads that were also believed to have supernatural powers. These idols served as intermediaries between the Aztecs and their gods and were used in rituals and ceremonies. Similarly, the Celts in Europe created statues with animal heads that were seen as protectors and symbols of wisdom and power. In conclusion, the tumbos are not just fascinating artifacts of the past, but continue to be an important part of the cultural heritage of Colombia. They reflect the deep connection that the indigenous peoples have with nature and the spiritual world. Their creation is a testament to the skill and artistry of the indigenous craftsmen, and their continued use shows the lasting impact that these figures have had on Colombian culture. Now it's your turn. What do you think about these mystical figures made out of gold? Have you ever heard of anything like this before? If you want to hear more stories like this one, we also have many more stories from various cultures around the world. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to hear more. And if you liked this video, please click the like button to help us grow. Thanks for watching.